Do you admit your own mistake? In this episode of Conflict Resolution, we're going to talk about taking responsibility. Leaders in education need to create a positive work environment. And it's easy to point fingers when conflicts arise. But it's critical for us as leaders to take ownership and responsibilities for our own mistakes. So I'll ask again, do you admit to your own mistakes? This is an important part of resolving conflicts. By taking ownership, we know that this can sometimes be difficult. We have to admit our faults. It can be uncomfortable. It makes us feel vulnerable. But it is an essential step in building stronger relationships with our teams. By demonstrating that you're willing to be vulnerable and transparent when you make mistakes, that accountability for our actions is important to you and to them. This helps us to build trust. It creates a culture of honesty and support, and it promotes open communication. It also de-escalates conflicts. When we admit that we have a piece of the fault and we acknowledge that we contributed to the conflicts, this shows our teams that we are willing to work towards resolution, and we're not prideful about our decisions. Teams then feel safe. They admit when they make mistakes. There's a quicker resolution when mistakes are made, and people don't bury their mistakes under the rug. So here's an example of what not to do. Several years ago, when I worked for another company, I had gone to an IEP meeting and I over-delivered some minutes. They had decreased the students' minutes from 45 minutes to 30 minutes, and I hadn't realized it. Later, when I was going into the IEP and checking the minutes, I realized mistakes, but it had been almost a semester. So I'd been delivering an extra 15 minutes for almost a semester. I went to my management team at this company, let my supervisor know, and said, I'm so sorry. I realized that I did this, and it's all the way back to this IEP, which was like in September, and it was like December, and they reamed me out. I didn't even want to get emails from them because every time I opened an email from my supervisor, it was telling me that I had made this huge mistake. I was going to have to pay for it, and the school was going to be so mad. But you know what the school did and the leaders at the school did? They acknowledged the mistake. They trusted and appreciated the fact that I had been transparent with my mistake. They acknowledged it, and they respected me for being honest. They didn't even make the company pay back for those 15 minutes that I'd over-delivered. They said, just don't do it anymore. That school now has been a client of mine for 5 years. So you can see this school respected me, but the company that I was working for didn't. And that honestly has stayed with me for a very long time, to the point where I'm telling you about it in this video. And it was one of the catalysts that allowed me to leave and start my own company, where people can be honored and respected, and honesty and integrity matters. I think anybody in my team would say Lighthouse Therapy is a place where you can feel comfortable and confident knowing that you can ask questions and you can get answers to things that you need, and that you're supported and trusted for the work that you do. Nobody here buries things. We always tell them there's no stupid question. The only stupid question is the one that you don't ask. So ask questions. We have mentors to help our staff. It's just so important that people feel like they can be transparent and honest with what they're doing, and you just end up with a team that really cares about what's happening. And that's the culture that we want. We want that culture of support here at Lighthouse. So take ownership for your mistakes. This demonstrates a commitment to growth and development to your team and to ourselves. When we acknowledge our mistakes, we identify areas to improve. I make mistakes. Everybody does. But every time I make a mistake, I learn from it, because I go and I say, oh, I screwed it up. Let's fix it. Let's see what we can do to fix it. And then I won't make that mistake again. If you bury it under the rug, you're going to keep making the same mistakes, or your team members aren't going to tell you, and then it's going to become a real big problem. So work towards becoming a better leader by being that transparent. Build that confidence in your team members. Create a more positive work environment for your teams. Taking ownership embodies one of the core principles of leadership: humility. Admit your imperfections. Be willing and ready to change and improve your behavior. Take the pressures off of others who think they have to be perfect by showing that you're not. Provide a safe environment for others so they can address their mistakes and they can face conflicts knowing that we have a way through it rather than it exploding up. But I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Have you ever not taken responsibility when you should have? How did you feel about it? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video. To see more videos like this, feel free to visit our resource library at lighthouse-therapy.com. Thank you and have a blessed day.